Welcome to today's episode of Tech Tales, where we explore some of the most fascinating stories behind the technologies we often take for granted. I'm your host, and today we're diving into a remarkable piece of computer history, the earliest C compiler. Now, when we talk about programming languages, C stands out as a foundational stone for many others. It was developed in the early 1970s by Dennis Ritchie, often affectionately referred to as DMR. The significance of C is immense. It not only shaped modern computing, but also laid the groundwork for various languages you might already be familiar with, like C++, Java, and even Python. It's quite remarkable to think about the challenges Ritchie and his team faced back then. Imagine a world of programming where the tools we take for granted today didn't exist. So let's take a step back. What really went into creating the first C compiler? Well, the earliest versions of this compiler were built out of necessity. Ritchie and his colleagues were working on the Unix operating system, and they needed a way to create a language that could efficiently manipulate hardware and perform system-level tasks. What makes this story even more captivating is that the first iterations of the compiler were actually written in assembly language, which is notoriously tricky to work with. Think of assembly language as a code that speaks directly to the machine. It's like trying to have a conversation in a language that only a handful of people understand. Now, imagine trying to build something as complex as a compiler using it. It's a testament to Ritchie's genius and the sheer determination of the team. A fun fact is that the first C programs, in an ironic twist, were mostly code that compiled the first versions of the compiler itself. It's a bit like building a house using the same materials you're crafting for the home, a fascinating circle of creation. So, what can we learn from Ritchie's endeavor? It's more than just programming. It's about innovation, tenacity, and the drive to overcome challenges. Ritchie and his colleagues were pioneers who took risks and pushed boundaries, which reminds us today to keep experimenting and creating, no matter how daunting the journey may seem. I want you to think about it. What challenges have you faced in your own creative or professional pursuits? How did you tackle them? Let's carry that spirit of innovation into our own lives. Before we wrap up, remember that the legacy of the C compiler still resonates in modern technology. Whenever you run a program or even engage with your favorite applications, there's a good chance they owe some of their existence to this foundational tool. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the early days of programming with C. Keep exploring, stay curious, and don't hesitate to challenge yourself when facing hurdles. Until next time, keep your minds open and your ideas flowing.